Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Help Is Here podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about compulsive daydreaming. I got this message from a previous client of ours very recently. He said, would love if you could potentially make a video about compulsive daydreaming, like creating fantasy worlds or imagining random scenarios in your head. They're so emotionally charged for me. Would love to know your thoughts. Appreciate your help, man. I just replied saying like, okay, what is the problem with daydreaming though? What are the consequences? Because I just always want to try understand the problem before I start trying to solve it. So he replied, it's really a complete avoidance of life for me, isolating from others, not caring about my work, avoiding relationships. I started doing this before the porn addiction started, actually, and I would say this is a bigger problem for me. There's a lot of self-deprecation involved in living my normal life, and I do want to engage in compulsive daydreaming to escape that. I prefer my fantasy world over real life, essentially. But I do also want to stop the behaviour and figure out how to engage with real life. Alright, the thing that stands out to me here is understanding that with any compulsive behaviour, people want to engage in the compulsive behaviour because they want temporary relief from some kind of discomfort. So sounds to me like this guy's got some discomfort going on, and that can probably be caused by the fact that he's been engaging in maybe like porn, maybe it's been social media, maybe even the daydreaming. I kind of get what's going on here, but I think it all comes down to addiction still, because when I was in a porn addiction, I remember quite often I would like relapse, and then after the relapse, I'd go into my notebook and I'd make this like grandiose plan to transform my life, and it'd often be quite extreme, and I'd be like way off in the future. And I think that's kind of an important point to get across here, is that daydreaming can often be future thinking, and it's trying to get us out of the present moment. And the reason people want to get out of the present moment is they often feel discomfort. And that discomfort can, as I say, be like withdrawal, but it could also just be that someone's feeling quite extreme deprivation. So there's something in their life they really, really want, and they feel like they can't have it. And so I think to correct the thinking in that moment would be really, really important. I'd kind of love this guy to like pull himself back into the present moment and choose to experience it, knowing that actually there's going to be some really great benefits on the other side of that. And in the present moment, you can really start thinking through as well, like, okay, well, I do have a choice here. Like, I can choose to daydream. That is an option for this guy. Like, he can do that, but where's it getting him, you know? And this is the thing for me in the past, is like with these massive plans I'd have, like after relapsing, I think what was going on is I was just trying to escape the discomfort that I was in from the relapse. And I was trying to get way off in the future and just take myself out of that present moment. So I kind of get it, but I think it's just about realizing that, you know, the fact that you've relapsed a lot in the past is going to cause a lot of discomfort in the present moment. And the more you choose that temporary discomfort, the more you're going to be able to change your neural pathways and build up a lot of amazing characteristics and traits. Further down in the messages, he was talking about how he was like daydreaming about particular things. He was talking about, you know, being a musician or a pro tennis player, trying to impress other people and things like that, right? And I think another thing just to kind of put out there is I think like this guy's quite young. And, you know, he's a fair bit younger than me. I think nowadays, maybe due to like social media and stuff and like TV, there's kind of like this misconception that we need to have like these amazing, like mad lives. But I don't really buy into it, because I think like so many people can be like super successful as such, maybe like materially or like with their fame or whatever, but they're not actually that happy, especially if they're still in a compulsion. And I think, you know, just being free of compulsion, like knowing you have choices available to you, living with integrity, making choices you're proud of moment by moment, that's all you really need in life. I know I always say this quote, but like I just love it from Marcus Aurelius. Like he just came up with a quote, you know, many years ago, something along the lines of, all you need in life are these: certainty of judgment in the present moment, action for the common good in the present moment, and an attitude of gratitude in the present moment for anything that comes your way. And hopefully that can be a bit of an antidote to the daydreaming. It's just knowing that in the present moment, you have choices. As long as you're making good choices, you can actually live a really, really happy life, and you don't need like crazy amount of money or like fame or like any mad accomplishment. All you really need to do is just moment by moment, make good choices, and like internally your dialogue is going to be pretty great. And that to me is success in life. So hopefully this can help somebody. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.